السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته مروان. How you doing?
Omar, how's life, bro?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Every time, always gotta say alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So, just to let the viewers know, we're going to kind of go through a bit of an introduction interview on Omar's journey within high ticket sales, Rizq Rise, where he is right now, and kind of the benefits that come with high ticket sales, bro. So, if you don't mind, give us a bit of an insight on what that's been like for you, all right?
Awesome, let's do it.
Allahu Akbar.
Inshallah.
طيب, Bismillah. So, bro, what kind of triggered you to look at high ticket sales in the first place? I know that, mashallah, you became Muslim, you went to Umrah, and then we kind of touched base then. What kind of intrigued you with that, man?
To be very straight up, it's money, man. Money, the location freedom, and the you know, typical 9 yards that everyone is looking for nowadays in terms of that ability to work online, to have the ability to work on your own terms, to not work under a kafir. Right? Obviously, in sales, sometimes you still work under a kafir, but it's still a lot of for me personally is to be able to pray on time, right? To be able to work wherever in the corner of the world that I
Yeah,
would like to, inshallah. So that's kind of what inspired me to look for different opportunities online. Now, I thought about starting my own business, starting like e-commerce, just like everyone else, right? But the thing with e-commerce, the thing was with a lot of these business models, you need to know a lot of different things, right?
mm,
And you got to wear a lot of different caps, and
100%.
that means a lot of different skill sets you need to essentially master, and it takes a long time. And what's the lifeblood of a business? Sales, right? So you got to start somewhere, right? So subhanallah, that's how I really kind of got into sales. Started looking into different people online, and I found you guys, subhanallah.
Allahu Akbar. Bro, when you came to
Yeah.
us, we were literally like, we didn't even have testimonials to show you. We didn't have proof of concept. All the brothers that come in nowadays, they see like track record, they see progress, they see XYZ. When you came in, it was pretty much intuition, right? That's what got you
Yeah.
started. You were ready to go. I remember when Ayub was telling me about the presentation he went through with you. It was a simple presentation, not much to it, and you were like, "Let's go, guns blazing, I'm ready." Why were you so certain that you needed to get the ball rolling, man?
That was probably Ayub's easiest close, probably. SubhanAllah. Gave him absolutely no objections. SubhanAllah. Um, but yeah, that's a good question. I mean, one thing that is important for me, and I think with a lot of Muslims also, is having a good environment. And Alhamdulillah, I came onto the call understanding the fact that number one, there's an investment to be made, right? If I want to upskill my skill set. So the biggest thing I was looking for, okay, is this suitable for me? Is this aligning with what I'm looking for? And are you guys providing the help that I need?
Yeah,
Right? Once those boxes are ticked, then it's pretty logical, right? Then I understood that in order for me to level up, then there's an investment required. And so after he dropped the price, well, halas, bismillah, let's get going, right? If that's what's um, the type of support that you guys actually provided, subhanallah, and all of that. And basically all I needed to see and all I needed to have was a real conversation. Right? See what's the plan here, right? So am I going to be left in the dust, right? And so these are some of the things that online nowadays people don't want to be thrown in a course for them to swim by themselves, right?
mm,
So once I felt a good vibe, a lot of times sales is just good energy, just having a good conversation. Also, if
subhanallah.
you're sometimes if you can have a good conversation with someone, subhanallah, like you'd be surprised, like close way more deals than you'd think, right? Especially you, Marwan, subhanallah.
Amazing, bro. Look, man, when you came in here, one thing that struck me was your level of commitment, right? You came in here determined. I
Yeah.
remember we were doing coaching calls at like 7 p.m. UK time. I believe it was like 3 a.m. in Hong Kong when you were in Hong
Yeah.
Kong, and you were like, every call, you were dressed like this. You weren't even like camera off, closed eyes, trying to listen in, but you were focused, taking notes, asking really skilled questions. And I think that's what separated you from a lot of guys is the intuition and the determination to win.
Yeah.
What was the first couple of weeks of the program like for you, man?
Jazakallah khair. And first of all, alhamdulillah, this is all from the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah.
And one thing that set everything off on the right foot for me was actually the call that I had with you, right? And you kind of had me, it was basically another discovery about myself in terms of where I wanted to go and also in a way to actually keep me accountable so that I shared my goals with you guys. And I mean, it's not like you guys like checked in on me in terms of the goals, but in terms of just an exercise for myself to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. You probably remember
I'm
the
glad. I'm
conversation
glad.
about
I'm glad you had that self-awareness to understand why that execution was made. MashaAllah. طيب.
exactly. It's very, alhamdulillah, and it made the whole experience so much better also. And obviously, and I think a lot of people could also relate. When they invest in themselves, when they join some type of program, they want to like feel eased in, right? And this first couple of days definitely mattered a lot. And in hindsight, now looking back, alhamdulillah, those days affected me in a positive manner. You guys added me into WhatsApp group chat. It felt personal, alhamdulillah. Um, and the question was why I was so committed.
The question was revolved around what was the experience like the first couple of weeks. Let's just say before you landed the role, what was the
Yeah.
experience of Rizq Rise like? The trainings, the mentorship, the course material. What was that like for you? How
Oh
how
yeah,
how did you
everything.
find it?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, everything was really great. Alhamdulillah, you guys had everything really organized in terms of the alpha training, alpha closer training. So it was perfect for anyone that would want to start from zero, from the ground up. Right? I had no skin in the game. I just wanted to learn everything from A to Z, and that was exactly what you guys provided. And another thing with the calls, with the environment, and with the mindset, understanding what is required alongside the skill set to actually execute these calls and do this in a professional manner. Because in this business in sales, alhamdulillah, I think number one is a lot of repetition, right?
Mm,
That's going to help you learn the skills, but at the same time, having that environment also to keep, you know, making sure you keep improving as a sales rep, as a professional, alhamdulillah. And basically, you guys had a platform that fostered all of this, right? Allowing people to mock with each other, allowing constant um, accessibility for you guys also, for people that are doing better, alhamdulillah. So you can learn from others, learn from how, because you can have two completely killer sales reps, but they do things differently, and you can pick things differently from both of them. Just like how you guys are completely different closers and
yeah.
ways, personalities, but you guys, there's so many things that I could pick off of from both of you guys. I'm a
Alhamdulillah, bro. I'm glad you took the best of us and you didn't take the worst of us. Alhamdulillah. Look, bro,
Alhamdulillah.
I believe it was 3 weeks of you being in the program. You are first ever high ticket sales rep that came in, our first ever client. And wallahi, honestly, bro, I'm very glad it was you. I'm very glad it was you because you took the program with such seriousness that, alhamdulillah, with the permission of Allah, you were able to succeed quite fast. You know, within 3 weeks, you landed your first role. And I think it was the perfect place for you, man. Run by a Muslim, practicing Muslim entrepreneur who cared a lot about the vision of creating a platform for Muslims to learn skills. So it was like you were the piece of the puzzle that was entered into that program. And I remember
SubhanAllah.
the first day that you landed that role, we were teaching you more things on how you can, for example, you know, the commission structure that was set up. And we were telling you, myself and Ayub, like, bro, don't worry too much about the percentages. Just put yourself in the position to work. Everything else will come after. And you took
Yeah.
that quite literal and you walked into that role. You positioned yourself as a setter. You scaled and you grew from that position. Alhamdulillah. I
Yeah.
remember your first 4 days in that role, bro. I think you made 2.5, 2.4K in commissions the first couple of days of you landing that role. While you were, Allahumma barik,
Yeah.
you just got married, you just spent some time, you know, with your family, with your wife, and straight away you got into work zone and you made kind of quite a bit of money in the first couple of days. What did that feel like for you, bro? After you've invested that amount to learn the skill, you practically made it back within your first couple of days. What did that feel like for you?
Honestly, it felt amazing. And I felt like it was my first taste of, I wouldn't say first taste, but it was a real taste of like something that I'm working for based on the skill set I acquired and actually getting the money back, right? So I've done flipping and different things in the past, like hustling. It's not the same type of thing that you get from just speaking. I was speaking with people. SubhanAllah, it was almost like I was hacking. SubhanAllah. I don't know how to describe it, but it was really, of course, it was ecstatic. Getting your first commissions. You understand that this works, and exactly, just taking and SubhanAllah. Now thinking back at it, um, and it wasn't even that long ago, SubhanAllah, but just it feels like ages ago. But it's
Subhanallah.
just the fact that you want to get your foot in the door. So what I mean by that is that, okay, of course, we're here to make money, but that one advice from you guys, right? Don't care about the commissions too much. Just make sure I deserve the commission. Right? I
Yeah.
deserve it. I perform. So alhamdulillah, that's something that was a mindset switch. Because usually, typically, when the guys long for a role for so long, and finally they get it, right? They're just thinking about, okay, the finally I get paid. But that's when the work starts.
Mm.
That's when everything starts. Bismillah. So alhamdulillah, that's where it's time to apply everything that we've learned. Alhamdulillah. So the beginning of the journey, alhamdulillah. And that's and it just all went off from there, alhamdulillah.
Allahu Akbar. Bro, when you got started in your position, I remember your employer actually messaged me and, and he was like, bro, I don't understand how Omar has no experience. Like, this is his first ever role. Like, Allah Mubarak, the guy's on fire, the guy's working, the guy's training, and this is something that I recognize from what you did when you entered that role is you started to take on bits and pieces of business that don't have anything to do with your role on paper. Why did you do that, bro?
Alhamdulillah, I think this ties a bit into what we were just talking about, right? Making sure, because I was his first hire in this company, in basically the online education space, is selling his mentorship program. And I was keen on making sure that I was the right guy. And so now that's also as just not just as a sales rep, but just as a Muslim that is trying to make money for his family, try to provide. It's one important thing to not limit ourselves to just thinking, okay, I'm a setter. Right? Khalas, I'm a setter until they promote me. Right? Then what's the difference between this and just working a 9 to 5? Right?
Right.
Alhamdulillah, we're trying to have a long-term game plan here so that we know how we're going to progress. Well, I'm not saying everyone has to be a millionaire, but just have some sort of a roadmap where you say, okay, look, I want to progress to a certain point. What's going to be needed?
Mm.
I got to show that I can outgrow my current position. I'm better than my current position. I'm just doing this, alhamdulillah, because I buy in your vision, alhamdulillah. And it's another show of trust and another show of loyalty also, which just helps with a lot of different things. Because alhamdulillah, a lot of people can be willing to do a lot more different things, but the people that are hiring you, they might not trust you to do all those things, right? So
Absolutely.
alhamdulillah, it's a mixture of showing that you're capable, at the same time showing that you're trustworthy. And a big part of it is um, being genuine in your communication, being straightforward, being proactive, and
Being a
and
problem
just
solver.
being a problem solver, being just characteristics that make people enjoy and benefit you being around them. Most important. Alhamdulillah.
Absolutely. Bro, in the beginning of your journey, what did the live mentorship calls do for you? Because it's 3 o'clock in the morning, man. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're in Hong Kong. You're taking training calls. You're taking training calls where you're pretty much um, locked into very detailed information of what we're training. What did the mentorship calls do in regards to shaping you as the person that you are, or what kind of skills did you obtain from those live mentorship calls?
It was massive. I don't even know how to put those into words. Alhamdulillah. I think subhanAllah, just because they were so early, it's like the first thing in the day, right? So it set off the day right also. SubhanAllah. It's like, damn, I woke up and I get another wake up slap. SubhanAllah. Alhamdulillah. And so it was good. I mean, obviously seeing the other brothers taken in. I'm the type of guy, I always look in the who's in the calls and okay, this guy is a bit ahead of me. I'm trying to be where he's at, subhanAllah. And just hearing you guys drop some gems here and there, alhamdulillah, uh, some of the emotional stories, right? Alhamdulillah, it added onto the feel that I had originally from my own why,
Mm,
understanding that this environment it was so important. That's exactly why I signed up, and to be around this environment, that's why I showed up to all these calls because people can, for example, take the calls are not mandatory, right? They were not at least, um, but I wanted to show up because I needed that environment. Alhamdulillah, I didn't have that same environment of other Muslims also wanting to make money. There's
mm.
a big differentiating factor here. Alhamdulillah.
100%. And that's the thing, bro. Of course, the calls are not mandatory, but those who show up and continue to show up are the guys that actually genuinely win. They win big, not just on making money, but they win big on personality, on character, on how they think, on what they obtain. All these things, alhamdulillah, that you and the other guys that have been continuously showing up, they're the characteristics that they've been able to build, right? Bro, since then, Allahumma barik, you've been making quite a lot of money, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And I remember one time you messaged me with a figure that you guys closed in a day, and I was like, Tabarak ar-Rahman, perfect offer, the right skill set, the right partnerships, the right guys working with you. It can really change your life. What is the consistent amount of money that you're making on a regular basis, bro? And the reason why I'm stating facts and figures here is because people need to understand what is real when it comes to getting the right offer, being trained, being in a position where you can actually, work the project. What is a number that you're consistently making or a range that you're consistently making inside this position?
Alhamdulillah. So the range is around 10 to 12K on average. So the past couple months was 10K, 11K, 12K. So around 10K a month to be safe. Alhamdulillah.
Allahumma barik.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Bro, this is the beauty about why I built this company, man. A lot of guys ask me like, why do you work so hard with these guys? I'm like, actually, you don't understand. When you give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, you only feed him for a day. When you teach this guy how to fish, when you teach him sales properly, when you teach him intuition, when you teach him leadership and mentorship through developing his mindset and his self-development, you give this guy a practical skill that can feed him forever, really. And so the day that he dies, sales is something that you're good, you know.
Alhamdulillah.
SubhanAllah, it's a genuine safety net, bro. Regardless of what the industries are going through, regardless of what country you're in, because you have that skill set, you can walk into any company, in any industry, whether it's in person, whether it's online, and say, I can sell at a high level, subhanAllah. And it's a very powerful skill,
Definitely.
right? And one day when you do open your own business, inshallah ta'ala, Umar, that is the most practical skill that you'll see that will generate revenue for you, which is huge, right?
100%.
Akhi, going back to the very beginning, knowing what you know today, having the success that you've had today, Allahumma barik, do you think the investment was worth it?
100%. Come on, Maran. Come on. Alhamdulillah. What is this question? Of course. I paid twice, three times, four times, even if I could. Alhamdulillah. It's
Allahumma
something that, alhamdulillah, totally worth it. Basically, it's for people that are stuck on price. Look, everyone comes in with a different, financial background, but think about it long term. This is the best thing I could just tell you. Just think about it long term. Imagine you're making, even to be safe, let's say 2K a month, right? Afterwards, after 3 months of intensive sales training, that 2K or whatever amount that you pay in, it's worth it. It's because you're getting consistent income. Like you said, it's that lifetime skill that you're getting, alhamdulillah. And so, I mean, if you're really trying to level up, what I can say is that you can never shy on investing in yourself. Otherwise, you're either investing your money or investing your time. And what's more
100%.
precious is your time, right? And to be honest, it's not the smartest to invest a lot of your time, especially if you could, alhamdulillah, invest in yourself, inshallah, and upskill and think long term. It's the biggest thing.
100%. Habibi, I want to ask you another question, man. Allahumma barik, married, family man, and it's been a lifestyle shift for you. Being in high ticket sales, being remote, I believe I was just, messaging you right before this interview, and I asked, if you're ready, and you said, bro, I just need to go pray. Did you pray in the masjid?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, exactly.
Akhbarik. What's that been like for you, bro? Having a skill where you can consistently, alhamdulillah, go to the masjid, do your ibadah, where you feel like you are fulfilling that area, which is the most important area of your life, alongside also having a skill that's generating really good income. It's giving you a decent living. It's allowing you to be present with your family, with your wife, with your in-laws and whatnot. What's that been like for you?
It's been more than I could ever ask for, honestly. And I wouldn't sacrifice any of this, to be honest, because alhamdulillah, like you said, the most important thing is your ibadah, your salah. And alhamdulillah, and first things foremost, for anyone that wants to get into high ticket sales or any type of sales, anything,
Mm,
your salah is number one. Alhamdulillah, if you're not fixing things, because you might be putting in the work and understanding, okay, why? Okay, Omar is doing this. I'm trying to replicate Omar right now, but I'm not getting the same results. Check your ibadah. Are
facts.
you doing the things that, or are you limiting yourself? Because the risk come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And
So,
so if you're not right with your meetings with Allah, then you're not going to be right with your any other meetings, right?
sales
SubhanAllah.
meetings.
Exactly. Your sales meeting, your sales calls, things like that. And so this is one thing to keep top of the mind. But to answer your question, is that alhamdulillah, it's been priceless almost, right? So being able to think about it, a lot of people just imagine, like I can't even imagine people going to 9 to 5 asking for permission to go pray. That's mad, right? That's some people,
And
a lot
then
of
being
people still have to do that.
rejected, Omar. And then being rejected. There are brothers that are rejected to go to Jum'ah. There are brothers that are rejected
Yeah,
Eid, Salatul Eid, for example, or if they're in, if they have to get to work at 8 o'clock and Salatul Eid is at 7:30 and they can't make it, they're rejected. It's an issue, akhi. It's a genuine issue.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Alhamdulillah, you got to experience the flip side of that coin, where you can have a skill completely remote. You can make a very good living, alhamdulillah, provide for your family, provide for your people, and also have your deen on check, where you are continuing to do the things that are most important, that are
yeah,
non-negotiable. Salah is a non-negotiable. And
exactly.
this is the biggest thing that I see as a khair and a benefit, is that another Muslim man inside my community has the ability to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the skill sets we've helped him learn, that has allowed him to not worry about money, in a sense where I need a job,
Yeah,
need to be in a 9 to 5. I need to make sure that because in the end of the day, you're a man. Your fitrah is to look after your family. Your fitrah is to be a protector and a provider.
exactly.
Natural. So you have to pick. And this is the thing, bro. People have to understand your decisions today dictate who you are 3, 6, 12 months from now. Dictate your lifestyle,
Barakallahu fik.
what you
Yeah,
do for work, how you live, your health, your well-being, your ibadah. All of these things are the decisions that you make today. The more that you procrastinate and you push decisions to the side and you do this and you do that to try to figure an easier way out, the more that you're putting yourself in a rabbit hole and you're making it more difficult for yourself. And that's one thing that stood out to you,
exactly.
bro. When you came and you were like, no objections, guns blazing, let's go. Bismillah. Love that personality about you, bro. Because I was like, this guy, this guy's gonna win in life, inshallah, man. It's a good character to have.
Yeah,
That kind of characteristic, bro, where you see an opportunity and you go seek it. It's from a believer, bro. A believer should be like that. He should be when he sees an
yeah,
opportunity of khair that he pursues it and he goes after it. ف
exactly,
بارك
exactly.
الله فيك يا عمر والله.
Also,
Yeah.
I also want to add a little thing here. Alhamdulillah, to tie everything up. And it starts with also the niyyah of why you want to do what you're doing. Right. So what I actually mean by that, for example, let's say with the example that we made just now, somebody that is working a 9 to 5, they can't go to Jummah, right? Don't settle for that. And use that as fuel so that you want to get right with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, use basically want to improve your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and things will facilitate in a way that you can't even imagine. Right? And even if you want to get married, if you want to do things, tie back to the deen. And alhamdulillah, you're gonna find everything much more meaningful for you to actually pursue also. Understanding that it's more than just yourself. You have to do it. Right? That was something that I was in a position and I had to make it work. I was getting married, and what am I gonna like? How am I gonna feed put food on the table? I had to do it. Right?
Mm.
Obviously, there's no point in me just telling everyone every day, but I just have to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. And even if you don't have that pain right now, find it, dig it. You can always get better in your deen. That's the part to always go to. Maybe you're comfortable in your job, you're accustomed to your 9 to 5, but understand you can get so much better in your deen. And so there's always something to dig for so that you can actually keep going, keep going, keep going. Because once you join a program, once you see opportunity, you grab the opportunity, again, that's just when everything starts.
Mm.
Actually, it hasn't even started, guys. You haven't actually made any money yet. But
Facts.
that's when everything actually starts in terms of you making that change.
Yeah.
Making you understand, you go to opportunity, the opportunity doesn't just change everything. The opportunity, you gotta understand, okay, am I expecting these couple months gonna be tough on me? Have the right expectations so that بإذن you're gonna get the fruits later, inshallah.
Absolutely. 100%, man. You know, subhanAllah, you're just reminding me now. I've had some sales calls this month, literally, of brothers that have come to me ready to pay, bro, ready to put down the investment. I'm ready to go in. And just by seeing his mentality and his mindset and how he perceives life, I've had to say no. I've had to say, you're not
Yeah,
in a position that I would like you to come into the program because if you can't take yourself seriously, man, if you can't take your life seriously, then that's the first thing you got to look at. If you have no intuition or no intention to really pursue your deen and to build a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you're not genuinely trying to pray, then that is an issue, bro. And unless you come with the mindset that I want to change, then we can't take you on board. That is a very, very important mindset to have, is the niyyah that you want to develop and you want to change and you want to grow and you want to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you want to, get more rizq. You want to work hard. You don't have a lazy mentality or a procrastinating mentality where it's like, I don't know if I feel like I want to work. That's not good enough. We need to
exactly.
keep push, right?
Exactly.
Last question I have for you, Umar, Habibi. Where's Umar go, man? What's the goal? Where do you want to take where do you want to take yourself? Where do you want to take your vision? Where do you want to go, man?
Oh,
It's a
those
deep
juicy
one.
questions. SubhanAllah. Um, Alhamdulillah. I mean, first things foremost, Alhamdulillah, I do want to make the most out of the time that I have, the freedom that I have based on my role right now, to also just like going back to what I'm telling everyone also, right? Strengthening my connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, using the time that I free myself for the Quran, things like that, that are most valuable at the end of the day. There's a lot of time, what are people trying to make wealth for? So that they can have more time for certain things that they value, right? So for us Muslims, it's Quran, right? It's following the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And financially, just keep growing. Financially, that's as entrepreneur, as and also remember, if you're doing sales, you're also an entrepreneur.
Facts.
You're in someone's role. You're working on a role, but basically you gotta set your own plans. Inshallah, you're gonna set your own trajectory. Um, and so yes, alhamdulillah, financially keep on being consistent so that my skill set can continue to improve, alhamdulillah, and become more natural, become more um, intuitive. Then alhamdulillah, then it's building blocks from there. Seeing how I can continue to upskill, to surround myself with people that are even better than me or where I want to be. And the process keeps going because if I stay static in my finances or my deen, then I'm going to stay static where I'm at. And alhamdulillah, we're as Muslims are taught to do things with excellence. Right? If you do things with excellence, there's no end to it. Alhamdulillah, you keep going, you keep trying to get closer with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You keep trying to grow to help people. Guess what? You make more money, you make other people money also. Alhamdulillah, you help other people, you do sadaqah, you do zakat, alhamdulillah. The more you make, alhamdulillah,
The more
typically
you
if
can
you
give.
utilize it well,
Mm.
exactly. The more you can give, the more you can help people out, alhamdulillah. The more you can sponsor dawah events, whatever it is that you're into, inshallah, alhamdulillah. That's the
Bro,
long-term vision.
bro, I'm genuinely really excited about your journey, man. You've genuinely just started. I always tell everyone the first year of anything is turbulence. You're figuring it out, whether it's a business, whether it's a new skill set. First year is turbulence. So get familiar with turbulence. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of challenges. In fact, it's important, it's necessary. And this isn't even a year. I think you started with us around June, July. So
Yeah,
we haven't even finished the year,
crazy.
bro. And alhamdulillah, the turbulence are, they're developing you and they're bringing you into a higher position. They're giving you a lot of skill and knowledge. I'm genuinely excited for you, bro. And I thank you for trusting us. Allah barak feek, for allowing us to lead with you and work with you. And it's been an absolute pleasure, wallahi, bro. And I know for a fact, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, my intention is that I will do business with you in the future because you're showcasing a lot of characteristics.
Jazakallah khair.
And that's what it is, bro. When you get into sales, when you get into leadership and you start working really hard, believe it or not, in a couple of years, those same connections that continue to rise with you are the ones that you end up collaborating with and working with and doing different projects with, whether it's business projects, charity projects, da'wah projects, things will align, inshallah. So I'm really excited for that, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. Alhamdulillah. Likewise. Likewise. Alhamdulillah. It's exciting to see what future holds, inshallah.
Allah
Jazakallah khair.
يبارك فيك. الله يبارك فيك يا عمر. For everyone watching, guys, by the way, if you want to learn more about Rizq Rise, how we operate, what we do, what we offer, so on and so forth, make sure you guys click below, book a call with our team. Get to know if this is the right fit for you, man. And you never know something unless you have the information to make a qualified decision. So don't assume, get the information required, make a qualified decision from then. Other than that, guys, we'll see you on the next YouTube. Salam alaikum.